Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan.
And today we're going to be doing our first mock draft video. This is the table mock draft. We're not sure how we're going to do this, but we want to take advantage of draft season as we go along. So our first mock draft is going to be a table-long mock draft. We're all going to come to a consensus as this video goes on. We don't even know who we're picking, but we're going to try our absolute best. And let's just start with number 1 at the Bengals. And I really hope we can all come to a consensus, and that being Joe Burrow.
Yeah, the Bengals should be picking Joe Burrow. You can make the argument that he's not the best player in the draft. You could say Chase Young is, but he is the player that the Bengals desperately need. They've been thriving for a quarterback for a very long time. Joe Burrow is who they should take and who we all expect them to take.
Yeah, he's just talent all across the board. Would be a great first pick. The next pick with the Washington Redskins, I think we all agree as well, that being Chase Young. Jordan mentioned it. He said he could have been the top player in this draft, but the Bengals had to go quarterback. It is close between these two, but Joe Burrow...
He's acting like the draft already happened.
I know. But Joe Burrow, being at the quarterback position more important, goes at number 1. Chase Young, still a tremendous talent, and the Redskins would be very lucky to get him.
Mm-hmm. And fills a need, and another Ohio State player, young, promising Ohio State talent on the Redskins already, so it'd be a great fit for and fill a great need.
Next pick is the Lions, and we might be also mentioning another good Ohio State player.
There you go.
Guys think Jeffrey Okudah?
Jeff Okudah here, yes. pair him opposite Darius Slay. The Lions' pass defense was not very good. They got a lot of needs to fill. Some say go quarterback here, but as long as Matthew Stafford stays put, I think you go with Okudah here.
I agree.
All right, here we go. Now we got a little bit of unsureness across the table. Number 4 with the Giants. Mm-hmm. Personally, I think they go offensive lineman. Let's start there. Do you guys think that's the correct statement?
Yes.
I think that most likely they will. They could They could go for defense and try to take Isaiah Simmons, but
if you asked me a month ago, I'd have said definitely offensive line, but now I'm starting to think maybe Isaiah Simmons. We'll say O-line, Joe Judge preaching that old school physical mentality.
Absolutely.
Now who?
Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah, here's the thing. We got plenty of guys to choose from. I don't even know who I would say. I might say Jedrick Wills.
Mm-hmm. Let's go with that one, just for the sake of not arguing.
All right, yeah, because you guys have the majority anyway. So
it's close.
Take him.
There's plenty of guys out there. We've mentioned in other videos. Mekhi Becton is a guy a lot of people have going at this position. Tristan Wirfs, and then of course Ryan's guy.
Yeah,
Andrew
Thomas. I don't know why people have forgotten about him. I still think should be at least considered in this position for the Giants.
We'll get to him later on in the draft. Don't you worry.
But
Next
Wills
up
is the pick.
We got the Miami Dolphins, and I think we could all agree on it, but I would say they got to go quarterback here. Josh Rosen hasn't been the answer. Ryan Fitzpatrick is getting old, and the best remaining quarterback, and still a very good one. Who is it, guys?
Tua
Tagovailoa.
We'll take Tua.
Tua? Is that good?
I think we take Tua.
Dolphins
could go a lot of different ways, I guess, but the most practical way probably is pick up Tua. You might not start him this season. You might put Ryan Fitzpatrick out there for a little bit, then groom him a little bit, and get him ready for the NFL, and hopefully he'll be your start quarterback for a while. I think that's what they'll do.
Okay, so we're doing pretty good so far.
The Chargers.
Oh, here we go. This is an interesting one. They could end up going quarterback here, but I don't know. They have other positions that they could fill. I still think that they're going to try and go out and get a franchise guy after Phillip Rivers leaves.
And this all depends on if they do anything in free agency quarterback-wise. So just so you know, this is before free agency when we are making this video. So if we say quarterback, which it seems like we might be saying, then that's why we don't know everything yet. So
got to get that franchise guy.
Ryan, who would you say would go with the quarterback here?
I think it's got to be Justin Herbert.
I agree with you. For some reason, Justin Herbert to the Chargers is just engraved in my mind right now. I don't really see him anywhere else, and it's very possible he could be somewhere else too. But.
Yeah, he could stay on that West Coast too.
Yeah.
All right, the next one, the Carolina Panthers. They got another interesting quarterback situation going on, but I don't think they go quarterback here. If I'm them, Luke Kuechly just retired. You got to go out and get a linebacker that can replace him, and that being the Clemson man, Isaiah Simmons.
You literally just said everything I was going to say.
Yeah,
we good?
Took it right from me.
We got to go and get him.
I'm going out on a limb here, and we're actually doing pretty good. All right, the Cardinals. Now, what we saw them do last year was very wide receiver heavy. This year, I think they learned their lesson and say we got to build up the offensive line. Yes or no?
I think they should get Jalen Hurts. Trade Kyler Murray. They need that air raid offense. Come on, guys. No, but really, I think you could either go. I think it's got to be at this point wide receiver, offensive line.
Jordan.
Yeah, they definitely could go defense, I guess. But I think wide receiver, unless there's someone that they really like, they have a few already. But Fitzgerald's getting old. He'll probably be done after next year. So if they really like a wide receiver, I wouldn't be surprised to get him. And they also need desperately to get some offensive line, especially with that offense who went air raid heavy last year and forgot that offensive linemen existed.
Yeah.
So I think we got our positions down. Ryan, what do you think? I'll ask you first.
I would go CeeDee Lamb.
Okay.
As cool as I think it would be to reunite Kyler Murray and CeeDee Lamb, I just don't think that's where they go. I think they make the smarter choice, go offensive line, and get Andrew Thomas. That's what I would say. Yeah.
Well, the more practical choice, Tyler said, would be to go offensive line. But we learned last year that the Cardinals are not practical taking Kyler Murray at number 1 overall when Nick Bosa had a great season. We'll see what Kyler Murray can do in the future. But just to have fun with it, I'd like to see CeeDee Lamb go to the Cardinals. This is our first mock draft, so not thinking about it too much. We'll just say CeeDee gets it. Sorry, Tyler, you did not get what you wanted.
CeeDee to the Red Sea.
It's okay. We're not all going to agree on it. It's a table mock. Mm-hmm. And now we're on to the Jaguars. I would say Isaiah Simmons, but he's already taken. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, would you say they go defense with this pick?
Oh, yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, that's our first
Might
step.
not be the biggest need, but there's a talent available that I don't think they pass up on. Almost a similar situation to they were in last year.
Any chance that's Derek Brown?
Yeah, that is Derek Brown. I think receiver might be a bigger need, but with Derek Brown...
Yeah. And the thing with receiver is DJ Chark actually had a pretty good season last year, so I think that they are good to stick with him. Of course, they might want to try to get someone in the second round.
They definitely need a receiver.
Yeah, they do. But he's just too good of a pick here. He would fall a little bit based on where he's ranked. So I have a 6 for CBS on their rankings. This would be at pick number 9. So I think a good pick.
All right. Jaguars get a D lineman.
The Browns, and to be honest with you, I don't know where they could go with this one. You guys got any ideas?
I do. I think they go Andrew Thomas.
I agree with you. I think that's probably their best option to go with. They have a lot of the positions filled up. They could maybe go defense and try to pick a good safety or something, but you could argue it is a bit of a reach for a safety at this point, or cornerback or something that's not named Okudah, who already went off the board. So I think that they'll probably go Andrew Thomas in this situation.
Yeah, I was thinking line as well. It's either Mekhi Becton or Andrew Thomas here, and even if I chose Mekhi Becton, wouldn't matter. Yeah. So we're going Andrew Thomas with that pick.
That's true. Sorry, Mekhi. I don't know much about you.
Okay, we get to the Jets, a team that could have a lot of positions built up a lot better. The wide receiver core obviously not the strongest.
Yeah.
I think they go that direction. I really do.
Absolutely, they have to build that offense around Sam Darnold.
And I would say Jerry Jeudy would be the guy I would go with.
Yeah, he's the wide receiver 2 in this draft. We all agree.
I could agree with that. Let's do it.
So do the Jets take him? Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Jerry Jeudy to the Jets.
Oh, these guys are always interesting.
Receiver needy team.
Yeah,
once again, I think we see another receiver go at this pick. I don't know what they're going to do with their quarterback position. I don't think they address that here, whether Derek Carr stays there or not.
I don't think Derek Carr's that bad.
I don't think... I agree with you.
I agree. I like Derek Carr.
Keep Derek Carr. You're not that far away.
And Derek Carr is moving into the house right next to John Gruden in Las Vegas, so that kind of sucks for him to...
Imagine how awkward that'd be if, Derek Carr's watching, his TV at home and he sees quarterback go right here.
And then John Gruden just walking in, taking his groceries, and then he just sees him. He's like, hey, what'd you do?
Yeah. And then he just runs inside and drops the groceries.
All right, so we're going Jeudy with this one?
Yeah.
Okay. The Colts?
Let's move on. Wait.
We're on the Raiders.
We
just went.
We took Jerry Jeudy to the Jets. Come on.
The next best one would probably be Henry Ruggs.
Yes, that's what. Henry Ruggs would be cool with that.
They did say. I think Mike Mayock has said they want to get speed in their receiving corps, so that would be a great fit. I think he's
not only fast, but he's a great route runner. Not as good as Jeudy, but he's got everything you need. Very similar to Tyreek Hill coming.
Exactly, and he could help in that return game too, like Tyreek Hill.
And you could argue that they may reach a little bit for him, but he's still a good player.
Fills a need.
The 2 wide receivers we literally just picked right before. So in this situation, we'd have 3 wide receivers going around. In a row.
I think that's realistic actually. With how good.
Well, I think that because the Colts could also use a wide receiver.
Yeah, but I don't. At this point,
we had 2 going in a row, and Jeudy went. CD went 3 picks before. Sorry.
Okay.
Now we're on to the Colts. Am I correct? Yes, I am. I think they're going to be fine with the quarterback position. That shouldn't even be a mention. The offensive line, they already have something going. You go defense. Really And I think you go out and you get Javon Kinlaw. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's probably the best player available. And since I don't think they're going to go quarterback, a lot of wide receivers were just taken off the board for them. I think they go to their next position and the next best guy available on the board, in my opinion, in Javon Kinlaw. Take him.
Yeah, I like it. He's had he's been one of the risers throughout this pre-draft process. You weren't hearing his name much earlier. Then he had a good Senior Bowl week, so I think he could definitely rise in the top half of the first round and go to the Colts.
Okay, on to the Bucks. We'll see what they do with Jameis. We're not going to mention that very much. We talked about that almost every other video. But I think he stays there. They try and build a foundation to help him out. They go offensive line.
I don't know. I mean, their run game was pretty bad, and I see an offensive lineman that I would take here.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the same one. In fact, I don't think it's the same one. But who do we got?
I would say Mekhi Becton.
No, I would say Tristan Wirfs. Break the tie.
This is big here. A lot of people like Mekhi Becton. Not Ryan and Jordan.
This is for the people who commented on our video. I don't know which one it was, but for the offseason outlook, talking about Mekhi Becton, they liked him. This is for you guys that commented. That just goes to show if you comment, you might influence me. So you get some recognition. We're going to do Mekhi Becton.
Okay, there we go. Now we're on to the Broncos. This is another interesting one. I think with Chris Harris probably leaving in free agency, you could go at the cornerback position. What do you guys think? Or somewhere in the secondary. Somewhere in the secondary.
I think that's most likely where they're going to go. Like we said before, they could have gone wide receiver. Just at this point, there are a few of them off the boards. If they really want to go out and get T. Higgins, maybe they could. But I think that there are some good, still some better players available at this point.
I think edge rusher would be a promising pick here, especially Bradley Chubb would be coming back.
Especially with the one who's still on the board.
Yeah, that's true. That's the only reason why I didn't say that is because they already have a strong suit on the defensive line. But why not? If there's players that could really help your
Chubb
team out,
got hurt for a long time last year, so do you want to take that chance with him?
I think it was more
the
merrier. It's like, you only have one.
No, exactly. If you have two people on the edge coming out of quarterback, that's a nightmare for them. They're just they're scared of getting clobbered, sandwich every single play.
Because then if you only have one, it's just boom, double team, and he's not existent, or triple team.
Yes,
that's true.
Exactly.
All right, so what are we doing here? Broncos War Room.
I think we're talking about. I think AJ Epineza was probably the one we were talking about, and you could also go chasing as well.
I'd go Epineza. He was honestly, there were times in the early pre-draft process, like during the college football season, I saw him as a top 5 pick. I think the Falcons might be upset with this, but I think the Broncos go Epineza here.
I am kind of in the middle of both of them. So do you think Epineza or do you think?
I'm cool with Epineza.
Okay, cool. Because I know you like Clevanton, but
is that what we're going with?
Yeah, we're gonna go with
pick is in.
All right.
Okay, now is where I would simply say we go with Clavon Chason.
Yeah, the next one I think would be the best available option.
Yes, very close in talent. LSU guy, national championship.
Tristan Wirfs is off our board, right? Did we pick?
Yes, he's gone.
No, we didn't pick Wirfs. Okay. No,
you guys, I wanted to.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Okay, now we're on to the Cowboys. For me, I can see them getting Xavier McKinney. I just think that would be a good fit with them, and they're gonna need the safety position, so that's where I would go.
Yeah, I could agree with you. I think that's probably one of the best players on the board besides Tristan Wirfs for us right now.
Yeah.
They could go. They could go Fulton.
Yeah, I was thinking Fulton.
Just depends on what they like more on watching their film. To be honest, I really haven't
Ryan's
seen much
got
on
Fulton.
McKinley.
I got McKinney. Who you got, Jordan?
Oh gosh. Well, I'm gonna be honest. I've watched Fulton play in live. I haven't watched any film of McKinney.
He's good. Just finished watching the entire season for him.
It's true.
But they're both good, so
they're both good.
Doesn't matter.
Both fill a need.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm just gonna go with Fulton.
All right.
Okay, Christian Fulton. Now we're on to the second Dolphins pick. They got one more after this. This is gonna be very interesting. I'm gonna open this up to you guys because I've been starting it off all the time. I want to let you guys start off.
Well, at this point, Tristan Wirfs is still on the board. I think that they could easily go with Tristan Wirfs at this point. Get a guy who fell a little bit and try to fill an offensive line need. They could also go to different positions. They could try to reach for a running back or wait till later with that one as well. So Ryan, what do you think?
You're absolutely right because I think especially after trading Laramie Tunsil last year, their offensive line really struggled. So I think this would be good. Put him in at he could play at various positions along that offensive line. I was really impressed with him on tape. I actually watched a lot of the offensive linemen. They were one of the first positions I watched because of how good these first round offensive linemen were.
Yeah.
I'm high on Tristan Wirfs. I'm impressed he's still here. So I think Miami pounces on him.
Yeah, this would be a steal, and I would agree with that. Tristan Wirfs all across the table. But with the next pick, I think they got to go defense, but we'll get to that at pick number 26. All right, now we're on to pick number 19 with the second Raiders pick. This one is from the Bears. Where did they go?
I think this is tough.
Exactly. That's why I opened it up to you.
If they want to take the best player available,
they got Henry Ruggs already with the 12th pick. So receiver, they're good for now.
If they want to take one of the best players available, they could go Henderson or McKinney.
They did draft Jonathan
They
Abram.
did Abram last year. I was about to say that. And they got Trayvon Mullen, too, last year. But he was a later round pick. So there's a lot of things that they could do at this pick, to be honest. It's kind of just who they think is the best for their team. And personally, I don't know that right now. They could also... We already did wide receiver, never mind. Honestly, Tyler, what are you thinking?
I was thinking Trevon Diggs or C.J. Henderson.
I'm not as high on Trayvon Diggs as a first-round pick, so I'd go Henderson.
Jordan?
I'm fine with Henderson.
All right, we're going Henderson.
All right.
Now we're on to the
Jags
Jaguars.
again.
Their second pick. A lot of teams with multiple picks this year. Who's this one from?
I think this is from the Rams.
Yes, that's correct, Ryan. Good job. Who did we have them getting last time? Just so.
Last time they got Derek Brown.
Okay, so they built up their defensive line.
That's correct.
And we were talking about wide receiver before.
Mhm.
Maybe they go T. Higgins.
Yep.
I'm not sure.
That's what I was thinking. It might be a slight reach, but that Jacksonville.
I don't think it'd be
receiving
too far of a reach.
It's slight.
About, I mean, maybe a few picks up
Yeah,
of where
nothing
he'd be
bad.
projected to go, but for wide receivers, sometimes you just got to reach, especially with waiting on their pick. They want T. Higgins would be off the board most likely by the next time they had a pick. So if they wanted a wide receiver and a good one, they'd have to take him now.
Yeah, and
Probably.
that's a good point because I don't think there's any way Jacksonville walks out of draft night the Thursday, the first round, without a wide receiver if they do make a meme of what I just said. But really, Jacksonville...
because there's so many good wide receivers that a lot of them are going to go within all the good ones that people really want are going to go within the first round. Maybe if it's a reach or whatnot, depends on what teams really want. We'll get to that later, but I think that if you want one, you just got to take them now. Take the shot.
And real quick, Jacksonville's offense has really struggled for a long time. Even in that 1 year where they were good, it was mostly on the backs of their defense.
Yes.
So T. Higgins is the pick?
Yeah. T. Higgins.
All right.
All right, now we're on to the Eagles, and it was a glaring need last year for them that they had to go wide receiver. I think that's where they have to go with their first round pick. And
if they go anything other than wide receiver, there will be memes probably about this.
But there's
it's not that obvious. It's not that obvious.
I'm just saying, like, there's just going to be, there would most likely be memes because there's so many memes about wide receivers for them. So, I mean, I'm just saying.
Depends who.
They could go
depends which wide receivers are gone. In our mock right now, we have a bunch of wide receivers
exactly.
gone. The best one available would be Laviska Shenault, in my opinion, and that's where I think they would go. But as Ryan said, it's not as obvious.
I really think that secondary might be better.
It's not as obvious, just based on
their secondary was also.
It was. Oh my goodness.
That's true. That is true.
So I would say we haven't said Trevon Diggs yet, have we? Trevon Diggs or Laviska Shenault. Either one, I'd be fine with.
Yeah.
All right, let's just go with.
I don't know. You make the. I got a dark horse prospect, but I'm gonna save it for later video.
Let's go with Diggs.
For when we do individual mock drafts. You want to go with Trevon Diggs?
Let's go with Trevon Diggs.
And I was just saying the wide receiver thing because there are already so many memes about the Eagles.
Where'd he go?
We haven't picked him yet, have we?
No.
Okay, well, as Ryan tries to find him on there, let's move on to the next pick, and that is the Buffalo Bills. Now, they are actually one of the most well-rounded teams in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not really too many places you could look at and say, okay, they have to go and get that position. So I think they're in a position to go best player available.
Yeah.
And with that, I have to take a look around here, but maybe Interesting.
Yeah, and I just want to say real quick while we're thinking this over, I really think Buffalo's one of these teams that are just one good offseason away from becoming a true contender. I really think that they showed the promise at points last year. They're well coached. They're just one good draft, one good offseason away. I think that they could honestly be talking Super Bowl contender if they have a really good offseason.
Mm-hmm.
So there's your early hot take. Never too early for a hot take.
I would say Yatur Gross-Matos.
Yes, I was thinking too.
All right. I know their defense is already good, but I don't think there's a wide
The edge
receiver here.
position is not as good. That's the most glaring weakness on their defense.
So we'll take him.
All right, now the Patriots. It's weird to see them all the way up at pick 23. It's been years since the last time they've been here. But now they do have positions they can address. I don't know if they go wide receiver again in the first round. I don't think they're going to do that again. So, I think they go best player available as well.
That's what they probably will do, but what I would do is probably so far away from what they would do or you guys. I mean, what do you guys think? Because what I would, seriously, it would probably catch you guys off guard. Well, I don't know if I've told you. Or we'll see. What do you guys think?
Well, obviously they need a tight end, but I don't think they're going to do that in the first round. And like I said,
I think they could hit tight end in free agency. If, they're an attractive destination. There's some good ones out there.
That's true.
They definitely could.
At Austin Hooper.
I think one of the McCourty brothers are leaving, so they could use some help in the secondary.
They can go McKinney. I don't think we picked him, or Delpit too.
Yeah, I was going to say Grant Delpit.
I like Delpit. Yeah, what I would do is very, very out there, so we could
Tell us.
You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you quarterback?
Yeah, whether Brady stays or not, I just think the matchup of Jake Fromm and the New England Patriots is too good. I've said it I think even honestly before the season ended, I liked it. Whether Brady stays or not, I think Jake Fromm, he'd be such a great fit there in that offense. He has the highest football IQ of any prospect in this draft at the quarterback position, I think. So that's what I would do, but you guys want to go safety, not bad either.
Yeah.
Grant Delpit it is.
Okay. There we go. Grant Delpit now off the board, and we're on to the Saints, who suffered another devastating playoff loss, but another chance to improve their team. Depending on what happens, we could end up seeing them go quarterback. They let Teddy Bridgewater go. If Drew Brees retired, that's a lot of stuff that has to happen, so I'm not going to be that out there with it. Mm-hmm. Once again, I see another team that just goes best player available.
I think that's a possible philosophy, but honestly, you look at Drew Brees in this offense, he has Drew Brees and Michael Thomas. Just imagine how lethal this offense could be, assuming Brees keeps playing, with yet another deep wide receiver threat. So who are you thinking? Because you say yours first. Who are you thinking?
Well, I wasn't really thinking at the wide receiver position.
Okay.
What do you think of McKinney?
I was thinking McKinney.
I was thinking Justin Jefferson. Keep him in Louisiana. You saw the season he had at LSU. I just think that the Saints are so close. They're ready to win. That they have what it takes to go 13-3. They are this close to taking that next step and becoming a championship team.
So you think the Saints would jump over Chenault and go right to Justin?
Yeah, I think they need another downfield threat. Yeah. And Jefferson's been a
if it's the Saints, I would say they have a possibility to do that, but I still think they go McKinney.
I'm going to agree with you, Tyler. We're going to do with that.
All right.
All right, moving on to the Vikings, who actually beat the Saints in that game. Some positions of need are the same as what we've been talking about. They could definitely go defense. They have a lot of free agents this year, so we're going to be able to see what they do with those guys. But I'm just throwing this name out here because I like this guy and I've mentioned him many times. Maybe Patrick Queen with this pick.
Could be. That defense, they were good at some times, and then there was some times where they looked kind of not so good, but you could also consider Kenneth Murray. Kenneth Murray and Patrick Queen are probably going to be fighting for that linebacker number 1 spot. Also, secondary could be a spot, too, because Xavier Rhodes did decline a lot last year.
Mm-hmm. Jordan?
Although he was a Pro Bowler.
Yeah. You guys, I agree with what both of you guys are saying. They could go a few different routes here. I don't know, I'll let you guys choose in the debate between you two, I guess.
So who are the two we got? Murray and Queen right now?
Yeah.
I'm cool with either one. I really don't care.
I'm going to go Kenneth Murray. I just am impressed with his tackling ability. I think they need that big guy, in the linebacker core, that could bring those running backs down. He's all over the field. I'd go with Kenneth Murray.
He's an incredible tackler. I don't know if I've seen a better tackler in a long time coming out of a draft class.
So Kenneth it is?
Yes, Kenneth it is.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think they go Patrick with 26, talking about the Dolphins. That's just what I would say.
I think that they could also go running back here, to be honest.
I don't think they go 3 offensive positions.
Yeah.
I think that is possible. They could definitely use a running back, but none of them are off the board at this point, so they could hope for someone to fall to them in the second.
Yeah.
I guess.
I like Patrick Queen. A running back wouldn't be bad, but I think Patrick Queen got to balance it out somewhat. So,
All right, we'll go with that to make it quick.
oh gosh,
All right, the
find a
Seahawks.
third rounder. Find a third rounder.
Yeah, we could
He's scrolling down.
we
Yeah.
could talk about who they're gonna pick all day, but we're never gonna be right because they're so random with their picks.
Yeah.
Let's go with
Ryan's,
Hunter Wright.
Ryan's scrolling
How
down.
about Tyler Johnson, Keyshawn Vaughn? You know,
Thaddeus
Yeah, I really like I said, we could predict all we want, but they're
Zach
probably
Moss.
not gonna do what we're saying.
Nick Harris,
Yeah.
Troy Dye, Jake
but-
Brown. He's fine.
I don't know. I don't know what they would do with this pick. I just want to throw it out there.
Lamar
Ross
Jackson.
Blacklock would be a very Seahawks pick to make.
yeah, you know, they took who they take. L.J. Collier, you know, out
Yeah,
of TCU.
TCU
I
last year.
didn't really hear much about him.
Honestly, I don't think he's a first round prospect
No.
from what I've seen. But yeah, maybe I don't even know. Maybe Bryce Hall.
Yeah, I am very high on Bryce Hall, and he was one of those, you know, one of my sleeper prospects that I didn't mention by name, but I alluded to. If this was just me, he would have been off the board already. So I think Bryce Hall's the pick. You know,
Okay.
you might not, you know, he was hurt a lot of last year, but I've been really impressed with him on tape. Bryce to the Seahawks.
Okay, we're gonna do these last couple of picks somewhat quickly here. We're on to the Ravens, who had Super Bowl aspirations but couldn't quite get there. We saw a lot of good things from the Ravens team this year, a lot of good positions. But another position that still is in need of players would be the wide receiver position, but that's where they went last year. I don't think they do that.
They definitely could.
They
Can.
could.
That's the
They could.
glaring weakness on the team for them. I think their offensive line is really good. All the other positions, their defense was looking good. I think it's very possible that they could go to the wide receiver position.
You guys want them to go to wide
Yes,
receiver?
the Ravens are not as complete as they look. You saw in that divisional round game when you stopped Lamar Jackson, you stopped their entire offense. They got to change that.
Well, I think with the Ravens, they already have a fast guy in Marquise Brown.
Okay.
So maybe you go with Laviska Shenault with his pick. Nothing against Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I agree with you.
We can do that.
Okay, on to 29 with the Titans, who beat those Ravens that we were just talking about. They have a lot of free agents. I think more free agents than any other team in the league by far. Ryan, could you go back to the general list?
Oh yeah.
Because I don't know who we picked and who we haven't. So I just gotta take a gander at it. You guys can share your ideas. I don't have to be the only one.
I just want to say, you know, they're kind of Ryan's far-fetched, you know, picks here. You know, I got keeping it interesting. You know, I mean, I know Ryan Tannehill has done great things, but you know, you look at some things that have happened with guys who, you know, they were career backups, then they have this one good season, then they get a huge contract because teams think that's just gonna stay. Look what happened with Case Keenum. Look what happened with some of these other guys that really had this one good year and then dipped. You look at Nick Foles, how he struggled in Jacksonville. No, really though, like this, it just wasn't the same. So, do you guys have any concern about Ryan Tannehill, or do you don't even think we should look at quarterback here?
You
I don't think we look at quarterback.
If you look at
in the
quarterback,
first
you know who I'm
round.
going to talk about. So just if you don't want to look at quarterback, just
Not
who
in
do
the
you
first round. no.
want? Okay. I would do it, but what do you guys think then?
I don't know.
Maybe they go offensive line if they're gonna. Or, I
That,
know
that,
their
that fits
offensive-
with their style of playing,
Yeah,
the way Mike Vrabel has coached that
exactly.
team to win games.
If they're gonna sign Derrick Henry again, they would go offensive line, and the best
Yeah.
one available would be Josh Jones.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Might be a slight reach, but it
Yeah.
fits well with their ways of playing.
Okay. Now on to the Packers. I think, plain and simple, they need a wide receiver. They go Justin
Yeah,
Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson,
Yeah.
yeah. Kind of similar situation, like I said, with the Saints. Got to get that other guy across
You gotta
number
get
one receiver.
that.
Okay. Now we're on to the 49ers,
Yep.
who lost in the Super Bowl, unfortunately. And Ryan has made fun of me before for not saying his name correctly.
AJ.
I would say A.J. Terrell.
Yeah, I'd go with that too, I think.
All right. I think they could use some help in the back end. We can go with Terrell.
And congratulations to the Super Bowl winners, the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously,
Yeah.
that means you pick 32nd overall unless there's some sort of trade. They have similar needs to what the 49ers have, but I think their offense is very much so stacked. A guy I liked, I just finished watching Alabama, as I mentioned before, but Terrell Lewis is an extreme talent. It was cool to watch. In the beginning of the season, he wasn't much. And as I was looking at him, like, this guy doesn't seem to be as good as people were saying he was. But then he just started to pick it up and was like, oh my god, this guy's good. So that's where I would go.
If you asked me before the Super Bowl, I would have said running back, but after seeing Damian Williams' effort, I'm
Yeah.
comfortable with what you just said.
Okay.
They
Jordan?
definitely could go to the running back position. There's all of them still available.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Damian Williams really looked like a number one running back in that Super Bowl.
Yes, he did.
I don't trust him as a number one overall for the rest. But I'm beat out, so we'll just go with.
Terrell Lewis.
Okay, so there it was, our first table mock draft. Took a little longer than we anticipated, but that's
fun.
A-okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this
The
video.
real draft
Make
is
sure to
like
like
4
this
hours
video,
long, so
subscribe,
we're not that
hit the
bad.
notification
Wish the
bell,
draft was this long.
and comment down below anything you have to say. If we missed someone or should have put someone somewhere else, we'd like to know. Thank you guys for watching this video, and we'll see you guys later.
See ya.